I'm Zach, and this is Challenge of Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So if you'd like to get either a Vedic Astrology or a Tarot reading from me, you can do so at my website. It'll be linked down in the description box below. Alright, so Capricorn. Today we're going to be talking about the Jupiter transit into Aries on April 21st of this year. But before we talk about that, let's talk about when Jupiter was in Pisces. So Pisces is your third house. Third house is younger siblings. It's your neighbors. It's your friends, but more like your childhood friends. Third house is communication. It's media. It's writing. It's the internet. Short distance travel. So, Jupiter being there, your relationship with your younger sibling would have been improved. Your relationship with your neighbors would be better. Your communication would be a lot more wise than usual. More wisdom would be conveyed through your communication because Jupiter represents wisdom. And Pisces is the original sign of spirituality. People would listen to you when you spoke, when you communicated last year. You also could have traveled last year, and those travels would have been good for you. But they would have been more so short distance travels. And if you are involved in media at all, that would have been very good for you. But now let's talk about Jupiter moving into Aries. Okay, so we got to take into account the houses that Jupiter rules. So Jupiter rules your 12th house and your 3rd house. Now, the main effect of a transit is seen through the main house that the planet rules. So Jupiter mainly rules Sagittarius. That's its original home. So Sagittarius being the 12th house represents loss, foreign travel, and 3rd house also represents travel. So Jupiter moving into your 4th house, you can move this year. You could definitely travel. You could lose a home and get a new one. Now, you could also have the same experience with vehicles, because 4th house represents vehicles. 4th house also represents your mother. So, your mother could travel. Your mother could become more spiritual, because the 12th lord of spirituality is moving into your 4th house. Now, 4th house is also comforts and happiness. So Jupiter will expand that. Now, Jupiter naturally represents expansion, and it's sitting there with Rahu. Rahu is explosive energy. So there's going to be an explosion of this energy of Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is not a particularly good planet for you, but Jupiter always protects at the very least if it can't bless you, because it's the greatest benefic. Now, this explosive energy is going to be major expansion in your 4th house of home, vehicles, mother, comforts, and happiness. Also, Saturn is going to have a 3rd aspect onto your 4th house of Aries. So, Jupiter and Saturn are the 2 largest physical planets. They have the greatest effect in our lives through their transits. Also, with Rahu being there, Rahu and Ketu are the karmic axis. So these are the most significant transits. So Aries is going to be impacted in a big way. Now, in your case, this explosive energy being in the 4th house, you could lose one home and then move into a bigger home. Like, that's the kind of thing that could happen here. Definitely there will be a lot of comfort and happiness that comes to you. But now let's talk about the aspects of Jupiter. So Jupiter's going to aspect your 8th house, your 10th house, and your 12th house. Alright, so Jupiter aspecting your 8th house. 8th house is the occult. It's research. It's anything hidden. 8th house is sex. It's married life. It's your joint finances and relationship or business. It's your in-laws. 8th house is taxes. It's inheritance. It's death. So Jupiter aspecting here. Oh, 8th house is also surgery. Before I forget. So with Jupiter aspecting your 8th house, there could be some sudden events that take place in regards to your living situation, like I've already said. There could be a surgery that somebody in your life needs, in particular your mother, but this would go well for her, especially because Jupiter is sitting in the 4th house, providing protection, and is aspecting its own sign of Sagittarius in the 12th house. 12th house represents hospitals. A planet aspecting its own sign is usually very good, especially when it's Jupiter. Now, aspecting the 8th house, there could also be 8th house is also transformation, so there could be some major transformation that comes about. 8th house being research, Jupiter naturally representing education. You could do some kind of research related to your schooling if you're in school. You could receive an inheritance during this time. 8th house is also bonuses. You could receive some kind of bonus. Now, Jupiter also has an aspect on your 10th house. So 10th house is your career. It's your status. It's your bosses. It's the actions you do that the world notices. It's the most visible house. It's also the house of government. So, Jupiter having an aspect here, your career is going to be better. Your relationship with your bosses will improve. Ketu being there would have shown strain with your work. You would have felt dissatisfaction with your work, with your bosses. You would have experienced unusual events there. Like, usually you get along with your boss, and suddenly this past year, with Ketu being there, your boss is coming down on you. A lot worse than usual. Jupiter will improve this situation. Your status will improve with Jupiter's aspect there. Also, Jupiter being in the 4th house aspecting there, your work will provide you more comfort and happiness. Now, Jupiter is also going to aspect your 12th house. So, like I said, 12th house can represent hospitals, but it represents isolation in general, so that can include jails, asylums, monasteries. 12th house is spirituality. It's foreign travel. It's foreign people. 12th house is also bed pleasure, so sleep, sex. And 12th house is loss. So Jupiter aspecting here, the negative part of this aspect is Jupiter's naturally expansion aspecting the house of losses. Jupiter is going to increase your losses during this time. So you will lose financially during this time. But there's a trade-off with Jupiter's aspect here. You'll sleep better during this time. If you are involved in anything spiritual, that will improve. If you want to travel to foreign places, that will be possible with this transit. Jupiter is helping in that. If you want to move, Jupiter would help there. And that could be how you incur these losses financially. Or, getting a new vehicle, like I mentioned. So that's the negative side. On the positive side, if you're having any kind of health issue that requires a surgery, or, if your mother's requiring that, because 4th house represents mother, where Jupiter is going to be, they would be able to be hospitalized and receive the surgery that they need that could save their life. Overall, this transit's very good. Jupiter is originally exalted in the fourth house. So Jupiter being in the fourth house is generally very good. Alright, that's what I have for you, Capricorn. If you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me and the channel out. I'll catch you in the next one.